I got my start in the industry when I was about 19 or 20. I went to a golf course that I was playing a lot of golf at, and I wanted to work there so I could play free golf. And I got sent over to the maintenance department, had an interview, and went really well, and I started working on the golf course.
When I was 16 years old, there was an advertisement in the newspaper for a job at Potapau Country Club. I started there, and then season after season I continued to go back and turn it into a career.
I got my start in the industry when I was in high school looking for a summer job. I applied at a couple different courses and then went to interview with Bill Larson at Town & Country and started the next day.
I was 18 years old. It was kind of a summer job, and I was just looking around and happened to be an opening at a municipal golf course, and that's pretty much where it started.
I got my start in the industry through when I was playing golf up in New Hampshire. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in my life, and I love playing golf, and I've always worked in turf, so kind of put the two together and got here.
I started at the age of 16 in this industry. I just applied to a local club that was near me without even knowing if there was a job or not, and they were lucky enough to have one, and I took it on as a seasonal job and just went from there.
I got my start in the industry as first a high school job, and then eventually I fell in love with it, and which brought me to here.
It all started as just a summer job to make some money, and it eventually just evolved into a passion for turfgrass management.
Eventually I started to wonder why we did certain things, and I was pretty persistent in asking questions, and through that is where I learned, I don't know if you can learn a passion, but that's definitely where I discovered my passion for, working on a golf course.
I chose to attend Penn State's Golf Course Turfgrass Management program because it is the best in the world. The education and the network are second to none, and I feel like these have given me the best opportunity to be successful in the future.
I would say that just the student body, there's just an amazing spirit here. It's just, they don't call it Happy Valley for nothing. I mean, there's just people's personalities are just upbeat, happy, and just, it's a good environment.
The amount of people I met, a good percentage were Penn State alum. That in itself is a huge factor when it comes to, being out in the real world.
At Penn State, some of my favorite classes, believe it or not, were our horticulture classes. I enjoyed them because we got a chance to go outside and walk around campus, and I'm all about getting us outside the classroom.
Favorite class is entomology. I got to learn all about the bugs and how to take care of them and figure out.
My favorite class at Penn State was plant pathology the fourth semester with Dr. Kaminsky.
My favorite class at Penn State will have had to be one of the soils ones, probably Andy McNitt's.
Favorite class at Penn State has been Dr. Kaminsky's disease management course.
I think my favorite class was the construction class we had.
Borders, weed control class.
Dave Livingston's with his assistant Rob.
They've all been really willing to help out if I had questions after class, and they teach because they enjoy teaching, not because it's their job.
The memory that stands out from my time at Penn State was when our entire class had the opportunity to go volunteer at Medina Country Club for the 39th Ryder Cup. It was a great experience, learned a lot, and it's something that I will never forget.
Attending the 2012 Ryder Cup with my fellow classmate.
Being at the turf conference, STMA, and the Ryder Cup, I had a lot of great opportunities to leave with Penn State.
My favorite memory from Penn State is going to the Ryder Cup in Chicago and seeing the scope of that event.
The chance all my classmates had to come to Medina and volunteer and help prepare for the 2012 Ryder Cup.
Definitely the Ryder Cup. That was a great experience. It was a surprise. We found out I think 2 or 3 months before we actually went.
During the Ryder Cup, we were on the third tee box, and Phil Mickelson was coming up, and he slapped all of our hands 5 as he was going up to the third tee. So it was the whole atmosphere at the Ryder Cup was amazing.
We got to meet a lot of new people, a lot of superintendents from other clubs, and people involved in the turfgrass industry.
What I took away most from our trip to the Ryder Cup was the tremendous amount of organization that the superintendent, Mr. Curtis Tyrell, put into that. And to have everything organized the way he did, it was extremely impressive.
The Ryder Cup was a fantastic experience. I'd like to thank Dr. Kaminsky and Curtis Tyrell for the opportunity of a lifetime.
funny moment, oh my God, there's been so many. I'd have to say when someone had an accident on a plane ride home from a certain tournament.
And there was a pretty memorable bit to do with a rat behind a Petco.
Ben found this big dead rat right outside of his car door. I pulled over and he just started screaming like a girl, and he has an English accent, so things are always funnier with an English accent.
I'd be hanging out at Kildare's pub with all the guys in our class and barstool jousting.
The first semester we lived with Kyle. He was from China, so he wasn't very used to American customs. He used to wake up every morning at 6 a.m. playing Michael Jackson and heating up a bowl of milk in the microwave, blowing the fuse every single morning, wondering why the fuse was blowing.
Kyle, just Kyle from China. He's a funny memory.
Time at Penn State was awesome. The program was very difficult, but also very rewarding. The atmosphere on campus is unbelievable, and all the guys in the program were awesome. We're like our own little fraternity. We only talk to each other, basically, it seems like, and you just develop a little brotherhood.
What has impressed me most about Penn State Turfgrass is probably my classmates. They're such a diverse group of people from different backgrounds and different experiences, and I can't say enough about them.
My classmates are awesome. Like, anytime people are confused about something, we generally get together, we figure it out. So, I mean, that in itself is a huge help.
And probably the best thing I gained though was the friends here at Penn State, guys I went to school with. I'd like to keep in touch with them throughout a lifetime and hope they feel the same about me.
After graduation, I'll be heading back to Scotland to work for Donald Trump's new course up in Aberdeen.
Upon graduation, I'll be going to China and working at the Hong Kong Golf Club as an AIT.
I recently obtained an assistant superintendent position, and for the next 5 years, I'd imagine I'd still be there.
My near future goal is to obtain a second assistant position at a top 100 facility.
In 5 to 10 years from now, I hope to be applying for or be a superintendent at a mid-level private course, be married, and maybe have 1 or 2 kids.
In the future, I hope to be an assistant within 2 years, and then probably 4 or 5 years after that, hope to be a superintendent.
Immediately following this graduation ceremony, I'm going to continue the celebration with my friends and family, because without their support, this certificate wouldn't be coming to me, and you're all invited to come.
Without a doubt, I'd like to thank my parents to get me to this point. They've been there every step of the way, and without them, there's no way I'd be able to be here right now.
Balancing time with my fiance, especially in the summer in the turfgrass industry, is very hard, but any time that I have off, I make sure that I dedicate it to her, and she's very understanding of my long hours, and without her by my side, I couldn't do this right now.
First and foremost, the work ethic and responsibility instilled in me by my parents, followed by prior knowledge from Mariah Hills Golf Course, help from my instructors at Penn State, and the outstanding support that I received from Mr. George and Mr. Campbell at Prairie Dance Country Club.
Was Jason Bastille, who was my first superintendent. He really encouraged me to go to UMass, where I spent a little bit of time. I got a certificate at UMass. He also got me the job at Wingfoot and wrote a great recommendation for me to get to Penn State.
James Beebe, he's a superintendent at Curtis Greens in Calgary. He gave me a lot of advice and guidance in the industry.
Dave Stahl, he was my first superintendent at the Cocker Club, and he definitely showed me like how to do stuff and really just put me underneath his wing.
Curtis Tyrell at Medina Country Club, the director of grounds, and Ross Lobster, who is also the superintendent of Course 3. They have really helped me expand to where I am at today. I think the class of 2013 is going to surprise a lot of people in this industry.